What it do, fellas? I'm your host, Krog,
and welcome to another edition of the Diablo Immortal PvP Showcase. Representing each of our classes, I've asked 8 of the top PvP players from the East and the West Coast servers to demonstrate their unique builds and playstyles, as we'll be going over their essences, set bonuses, stat priorities, legendary gems, and Paragon Tree. But if you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like and follow button below, and for more DI content, join us live streaming every night on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. Now, let the showcase begin. Starting off with the Barbarians, we have Bullark the Bully. For our stat priority, we see that Bullark is demonstrating a heavily armored based build that utilizes the skills of Lacerate, Wrath of the Berserker, Chain Spear, and Demoralizing Shout. Now, on to the essences. For the helmet, shoulder, chest, and pants, we have the Spark Tusk, Broken Calling, Shackled Fate, and Buried Talons. On the main hand, we have the Ardent Fervor and the Rending Bite, while the offhands are the Burge Breaker and the Falling Thunder. Moving on to our legendary gems, of course we see the must-needed Blood-Soaked Jade, paired with the Rolling Consequence, Starfire, Bottled Hope, Spiteful of Blood, Maw of the Deep, Frozen Heart, and the Golden Ferment. For our set bonuses, Bullark is using a 4-piece Mountain Banks and a 4-piece Vithus. And last but not least, we have Gladiator for our Paragon Tree. Now, representing our Blood Knights, we have Sheriff, the Grim Reaper. Displaying a high potency based build with the skills of Ravage, Abomination, Whirling Strike, Transfusion, and the Shroud of Night. For our essences, on the helmet we have the Voices of the Crescent. For the chest, the Count of Eves. For the pants and shoulders, we have the Bloody Concession and the Abominable Cocoon. For our main hands, we have the Sin Carver and the Exquisite Silence, and the offhands of the Fiendish Memento and the Dangling Terror. Next, we'll take a look at Sheriff's legendary gems, as we see a Blood-Soaked Jade, Bottled Hope, Seeping Bile, Spiteful of Blood, Rolling Consequence, Wolfheart, Starfire, and the Chip of the Stone Flesh. For our set bonuses, we see a 4-piece Gloom with a 2-piece Vithus and a 2-piece of the Feasting Barons. And for our Paragon Tree, we have Brawler. For our Crusader, we have the one and only, the mustachionadoed veteran, Barry the Vanquisher. Showcasing another high potency based build with the skills of Sacred Fire, Judgment, Condemn, Falling Sword, and Conjuration of Light. On to the essences, we see an unfortunate dead slot in the helm with the ominous Coronor, but for the working essences, on the shoulder, chest, and pants, we have the Yawning Rose, Heart of the Grandeur, and Permanent Reproach. For our main hands, we have the Horn Splitter and the Halted Siege, and for the offhands, we have the Blinding Wall and the Tormental Refrain. Next, we'll take a look at various legendary gems. We see a Blood-Soaked Jade, Rolling Consequence, Colossal Engine, Bottled Hope, Concentrated Will, Chip of the Stone Flesh, Golden Ferment, and the Crimson Ballot. Moving on to our set bonuses, we see Various using a 2-piece Vithus with a 2-piece Barons, a 2-piece Engments, and lastly a 2-piece Gloom, followed by a Paragon Tree of Gladiator. Now representing our Demon Hunter, we have the Merciless Killer Keys. Showcasing us a high resistance based build, and equipped with the skills of Explosive Arrow, Daring Swing, Escape, Spinning Chakram, and Strafe. Looking at our essences, on the head and shoulders we have Best Discretion and Escalated Violence, while the chest and the pants are Scattered Discipline and Secret Safeguard. For the main hands, we have Turmoil and Unrelenting Furor, and the offhands of Sakar and the Electrum Luna. Now moving on to our legendary gems, we see that Keys is using a Blood-Soaked Jade, Rolling Consequence, Bottled Hope, Starfire, Colossal Engine, Wolfheart, Concentrated Will, and the Maw of the Deep. For our set bonuses, we see a 4-set Grace and a 4-set Vithus. And on the Paragon Tree, we have Gladiator. Moving on to our Monk, we have Mr. Fashionable, the Deadly Double Tap. Showcasing a high resistance based build utilizing the skills of the Fist of Thunder, Shield of Zen, 7-sided Strike, Exploding Palm, and Mystic Strike. For our essences, on the helm and shoulders, we have the Crippling Insight and the Ascending Rain Cloud, and on the chest and pants, are the Soiled Feast and the Hidden Way. For the main hands, we have the Calfaction and the Leaping Shadow. For the offhands, we have the Reticent Wind and the Tranquil Palm. Next, we'll take a look at Double Tap's legendary gems as we see a Bloodsoaked Jade, Rolling Consequence, Colossal Engine, Bottled Hope, Starfire, Spiteful of Blood, Golden Ferment, and the Wolf Heart. For our set bonuses, we see a 4-piece Gloom with a 2-set Vithus and a 2-set Mountain Banks. While our Paragon Tree, we see Gladiator. Now representing our Necromancer, may I introduce the one, the only, the Sum 1. Displaying a build of equal armor penetration and potency. For the skills, Sum is using Soulfire, Skeleton Mage, Bone Armor, Grim Scythe, and Wraith Form. For our essences, on the helm and shoulders, we have the Fateful Flame and Grave Dirt's Weight. On the chest and pants, we have Draw of the Deep and the Proximal Fear. For our main hands, we have the Stroke of Midnight and the Dwelling Swarm. For the offhand, we have the Scattered Light and the Spite Feeder. Next, we have our legendary gems. For some is using a Bloodsoaked Jade, Rolling Consequence, Seeping Bile, Bottled Hope, Starfire, Stormbolt, Wolfheart, and Golden Ferment. Now for our set bonuses, we see that some is using a 2-piece Vithus with a 2-piece Barons and a 4-set Angmit. Lastly, for our Paragon Tree, we have Gladiator. For our Tempest, may I introduce the Honorable King Kavase. Demonstrating his high armor penetrating build that complements the skills of Flowing Strike, Crosswinds, Squall, and Rolling Surf. Now moving on to our essences. For the helm and shoulders, we have Look Leeward and Safe Borders. For the chest and pants, we have Memento Omnis and the Seafarer's Trows. On the main hands, we see Skeen Partner and the Thousand Dooms. For the offhand, we have Coral Shank and Moraz's Spine. Now we'll take a look at Kavase's legendary gems. We see a Bloodsoaked Jade, Rolling Consequence, Bottled Hope, Void Spark, Colossal Engine, Gloomcask, Golden Ferment, and the Wolf Heart. And for our set bonuses, we see that Keebs is wearing a 4-piece Gloom accompanied by a 4-piece Vithus. And for our Paragon Tree, we see Brawler. Now representing our wizard, may I introduce the exquisite Ezerith. Showcasing a high potency based build, utilizing the skills of Electrocute, Arcane Wind, Teleport, Lightning Nova, and Slow Time. Now moving on to our essences. For the helm and shoulders, we have the Terminus Facade and the Fortuous Ward. For the chest and pants, we have the Coat of the Astrum and the Fractured Footsteps. For our main hands, we see the Thistle Bloom and the Eye Plucker. For the offhands, we see the Withering Eye and the Trifling Piffle. Looking at Ezra's legendary gems, we see a Bloodsoaked Jade, Rolling Consequence, Starfire, Colossal Engine, Maw of the Deep, Stormbolt, Chip of the Stone Flesh, and the Crimson Ballot. Moving into our set bonuses, we see that Ezerith is wearing a 4-set Angmint with a 2-piece Barons and a 2-piece Vithus. For our Paragon Tree, we see Gladiator. And there you have it, folks. That concludes our 800 plus showcase. But if you'd like to see your favorite PvP player in the next showcase, comment their name below. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.